Hey everybody, you already know what it is. XNMXA, and today we're back with another one, and for this one, we get something special. We're going to be going over all the PBuffs, all the builds, everything you need to know about PBuffs and how they intertwine with the game and what they can offer and all of that. So let's just get right into it. So first things first, for PBuffs, they don't only upgrade, like let's say I have Krista, Jimmy, Camilla, and Lee. These P-buffs don't only upgrade these characters, they upgrade every character in that position. So let me go here, filter, go to centers. Since I have all the center P-buffs, every single center, as you can tell by the attributes on the left, they all get these P-buffs. They all get them, no matter what P-buff it is, but only for their role. So if the center P-buffs, they only get centers. As you can see, they do. You can tell by the stats. If you want to go in more depth into it, you can go to attributes. You can scroll over a stat, and on the right, you can see PBuff. It tells you what the PBuff actually upgrades. So that's how it shows you right there. So other than that, let's go into the PBuffs. So right here, we get centers first. So basically, how I play a big, my role as a big, is I like to get the board. I need to get the board. I'm a big man. I need to be getting the boards. That's why I get two 14 rebounds, which adds up to 56 with both of these. And also, when you get a character P5, you can get position P buff level 2. So you get two of these. Both of these are added. It's not just 14 for one, it's both for 28. So right there, with that being said, we got 56 rebound. We're adding up both of those. My bad, I accidentally fat fingered the other button for information for P-buffs. If you need to read that, you can go into that. You see on the bottom, you can go into the information, learn a little more about it. But for the builds, this is my main build. And with this build, I try to set screens. I try to get open. I also make sure I get the rebound, like I said before. You're a big man. You gotta be getting the rebound. If you're a big man and you're not getting rebound, what's the point of even picking the big man? Let's be honest. But for that as well, sometimes, if you see your teammates going for twos or layups or dunks, go out to the three line. Why do you do this? Because it either forces the your defender, to stay in the paint and try to stop the layup, or if your teammate's smart, he'll dish it out to you on the line, on the arc, wherever you're at in the corner, any three position. You shoot the three, you get it. You teach them a lesson. They're too worried about a two when you're on the edge trying to get a three. Like, honestly, if I'm a big man, I'll try to stay on their big man just so they don't get threes. But sometimes the big man can't shoot a three. So that's why we get this 3-point shot success rate. A little extra oomph to those threes. With that being said, this is the build I use. Let's go over some other ones. If your big man's got rebounds, plenty of rebounds enough, go for another normal movement speed. Can't hurt anyone. If you want to make them miss, go for shot impediment. If you want more block, we got Hal right here. As you can tell on the right, he also has jump shot block. That really helps, especially in those screen scenarios, those meta 2 areas. This will help. Also, as well, if your big man already got good rebounds and you need a little bit, you can use this one as well. If you don't need any rebounds, if you only use a couple characters and their rebounds maxed already, you have good cards on them, switch it out for another normal moving speed. If your big man can already shoot, you can do another rebound. You can switch it up. You can do offensive rebound. You can do steal if you play Blair a lot, but technically big men don't really get steals, especially these ones, unless it's Blair, because she has the skill for it. It's basically shadow steal. You can go for all this. A nice meta one right here. Switch the shot impediment to jump shot block, and boom, this is basically the meta one. But technically, bigs don't really make a lot of threes except Blair, her, and who else is? There's another big person that tend to make the threes because their stats ain't really too good. But if you got that extra, that extra three or that extra two, I accidentally click balance patch, but let's see. Lee can shoot twos, because I have two builds. I tested it out. I know Lee can make twos. And as you can tell, if you want to know if your big man can make twos, look on the top left right there. Like about 3/4 of the screen, you see mid-range shot, over 100. Big Joe should be able to make some twos. Camilla should be able to make some twos. So if you want to do that meta way, Lloyd can make some twos. You just look at the stats. 180. Blair can definitely make some twos. She probably has the highest stat in the two category. So if you want to do a nice competitive build, but also the competitive build comes with defense, steals, all that. You need to be getting them because 1-3 can really set you apart, really push you back, really put you in a bad situation. So let me go back to the PBuffs. Like I said, this is a good meta build. Make this jump shot block if you really want to. But other than that, you can also do it like this if you don't want the jump shot block. If your jump shot block's already good, if you're already good at defense, run this. Why not? Fly around the court. If you need one rebound, just use one rebound. It's pretty simple. If you want to just use one rebound, you can just use this one rebound. But other than that, let me go back to my build that I had. I tend to have builds that help out all the characters in the position because I just don't use one character. I can't do that no matter what, even if I play a different game. I don't know, I just don't like using one character. I like to branch out, test out every character, use all their skills, which you guys see in my videos. So now, the next one, we'll go to power forwards. Power forwards, basically my build I have is basically the same thing as centers. I rock this, no movement speed. Rebounds, because I'm a power forward, I need to be getting the rebounds. And power forward has the same roles basically as centers. If they're in the paint a lot, go out to the three. If you're basically defender don't want to go out there, shoot the three, make it on them. Basically the same concept. But for some builds, like I said, some PFs can shoot a lot of twos. They shoot more twos than the centers, I would say. A nice meta build, we'll go for the meta build first, would be something like this. If you don't want the speed, but speed really helps a lot, you can rock this. But I would say run at least one speed so you can get on your defenders if you can pick up a lot. Because a lot of people are going to be trying to do screens, a lot of people are going to try to do other things. Sometimes your teammates are too slow to keep up. But I would say this is a solid, nice meta build, this, or do another rebound. Just because if you're versus a nice meta team and they're doing the screens, jump shot block will help you prevent that. You got mid-range, so you can shoot the twos occasionally, because sometimes if your teammates are versing, let's say, a Jack, a Lou, all the meta characters, it's going to be difficult then for them to score. If they pass it to you, and you can cook up the other big, boom, easy twos. But like I said before, with these twos, it also comes with defense, steals, everything. You need to be on point with that to even succeed. But in that, if you want to do threes, you can go for a three-point shot success rate like I do. That's technically what I like to do. I like shooting threes instead of twos. I don't know why. If you want to go for a hybrid build, you can do a hybrid build as well for your bigs. But just remember, they're probably not going to be getting much rebounds because the power forwards rebounds ain't really that high. That's why I like to rock two of them. Right there, if you feel like your big man ain't really shooting threes, you can go for the extra three-point shot. I'm not too sure if this would be better than the actual 6%. I know there was the math somewhere. I didn't look it up, but I do think this is going to be better than 3.2 shot success rate. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. If someone knows the actual math, or when I figure it out, I'll put it in the description, something like that. So just be on the lookout for that. And then you can decide if the 12-point 3-point shot is better than the actual 3.2 success rate. But yeah, like I said before, if you got rebounds on lock, go for another no movement speed. Can't hurt you. If you got rebounds on lock, go for jump shot block. Make your bigs actually get the blocks. Because a lot of times when people are too far and you go to jump and you feel like you should have got the block, jump shot block will help you with that. Help you out a lot. If you want the shot impediment, if you're more of a shot impediment, right here, Giant G has this as well. Like I said, this is all based on how you guys play. If you guys only play a couple of characters, just build those two characters. Why not? Just make them even better. Who cares about all the other characters? If you guys just use meta characters, just use the meta characters, just use the meta build. People do that. Especially with people with more than one account, they definitely do that. So next we're going SFs. So let's get it started. For right now, I'm rocking two normal movement speeds because one, your SFs are too slow, especially in the meta. You're only going to be really prevailing when you don't get to. So first things first, if you want the 3-point distance, this is normally what I usually run. We got normal movement speed, 3-point shot success rate, 3-point shot distance, and another normal movement speed. This is my base kit. This is usually what I run. But sometimes you want to go for a little hybrid build. Boom. If you want to just do a 2 meta build, where's boom. So a good thing about basically SFs is they already have 2s kind of high. As long as you have this, if you're wide open and you're shooting a 2, most likely they'll make it because their normal stat is high. But for meta, basically this, if your 2's already maxed out and you don't miss anything, go for another normal movement speed. It can't hurt you. It only makes you better. It makes you a lot faster. If you don't want the shot impediment, change this to normal movement speed. If you're missing mid ranges, boom. You got your mid ranges right here. This will help you out, and like I said, it helps every character in the position, not only one. If you want to do 3s, by all means, this is the base build that I use. If your characters already have the speed, do the mid range shot block resist. It can't hurt you, it will only help you. Just remember, none of these will actually hurt you unless you're not like using it. If you're using 3-point shot success rate and you're not shooting 3s, it's gonna hurt you. Obviously. Eventually, once in a while you'll make a 3 because of your cards. Cards also play a perfect role as well, so they stack with the cards. So just keep that in mind. Some other builds, if you don't want to shoot the 3s, like I said, do another no movement speed, do this. Run this. If you don't want the shot impediments, if your defense is that good, if you're using Jack, Lou, you don't really need to even to be jumping. You don't even need to be do that. I'm pretty sure there is no. Yep, there is a jump shot block again. Usually jump shot block is in with the characters with shot impediment. If you want to use jump shot block, by all means, I'll probably recommend that better instead of shot impediment. But a lot of people prefer shot impediment. They even have it on their pets and everything. If you want to rock that route, do it. But just remember, if you're only going for 2s and using the meta, basically, you gotta have the defense with it. If you ain't got the defense with it, it ain't worth it. Because 1-3 is 2, and then plus 1. It adds up. I say it all the time in my videos. But other than that, I think that's most of the SF builds. If you feel like you're missing a lot of 3s, look at this. With the new character, they dropped an extra 3-point shot success rate. So you can stack it up and get 24 shot success rate. If you want to be a shooting monster, there's another shot success rate as well. Another 3.2, which is on, I know it's somewhere. Right here. It is on Rebecca. And you can add that as well and have insane shot success rate, which will be, this would be 6.4. That would be 24. You can have 30.4 shot success rate. If you're a new guy, you're just starting, why not have that extra shot success rate? You'll be draining 3s on a lot of people. That's a lot of shot success rate, to be honest. That's basically free cards with this build. If you want to do the mid range, like again, you can do the 7.5 with Rebecca and Saru. You can use the distance if you want, but right now I'm not rocking the distance because I can stay on the line. But most of the time I'm gonna rock a little hybrid build just so I can shoot the 3s and I can shoot the 2s. But with this kind of build, I kind of use 3 cards instead of 2s. Like, let me show you what I mean. So right here, if I was to use this build with Jack, I would use my 3 build. Why? Because, let's look at his stat, his mid-range shot is already over 200. He's going to be making them no matter what. But I need to be wide open, make sure the shot's wide open, just to make a little reinsurance. Yeah, he can shoot on people, especially SGs, Point guards, it depends who your defender is, and that also depends what your shot success is. So like I said, I'll be using this 3 build. If I'm running like a hybrid, yeah, I can shoot an open 2, but I'll be more towards the 3, but the 2s are still going to go in because I have that Rebecca 7.5 2-shot success rate. But if I really want to get, jiggy with it, I'll just use this build just because of the jump shot block, which will help. And then the resist, I can shoot a lot of phase 2s. And then I have the 3 right here just so I can make a 3 once in a while. But that just gives you like a little example of what builds go with what. So now, let's go back into here. I'm pretty sure we still got 2 more positions. Point guards. They're already fast, so I don't really use normal movement speed anymore. I usually make them shoot the 3s. Yeah, they can shoot 2s, but it's going to be a lot harder for them to shoot a 2 because they're small. If you get an SF on you, it's going to be really hard. I like to use steal because if you can get that clutch steal, and this, like I said, applies for every role, if you can get that steal, you'll actually do some damage to the other team. Like I said, most of the time, a lot of people, you get your mid-range shot success rate. A lot of these basically stats are basically the same with every character. Like, you see, you get your mid-range shot right there. They're basically the same thing. Like, everyone's going to have a 6% 3-point shot success rate. Every role's going to have that. You just got to find the character that has it. Like, see, Rebecca had the 7.5 mid-range. Right here, Helena has it. If you want to shoot 2s, you can shoot the 2s right there. But for my build, I use the 3-point shot success rate, steal, distance, and no movement speed. Point guards are normally fast if you want to make them insanely fast. This is what I used to run, just because I'm more of a 3 guy. And, the speed, it's hard for a lot of people to catch up. But right now, if you want to rock a hybrid, you can rock this. You can switch this to another. No movement speed. If you have a dunk build, which a lot of people do with Janessa, use the extra distance. Now, with that being said, also, if you feel like you're missing a lot of mid-ranges because these guys are pretty small, you can rock this as well. Let me switch back to it. You can rock another 7.5 for mid-range. So switch this to another normal movement speed. If you want to rock like a kind of meta thing, I'm pretty sure a lot of people go with this. A steal, speed, and a mid-range shot success rate. If you want to go and get more steals, you feel like your point guard's already fast like mine, because I only use 1 normal movement speed, sometimes 2, you can use the extra steal right here. And this will help you basically one swipe the ball. You see all the Carolinas, not the Carolinas, all the Claras run around, get those steals instantly. This is how they do it. They max out steal, make it insane. And look at this. These two added up, that'll be 33.6 plus another 16.8. That's basically over 50%. So one swipe is 50% of you gonna get the steal or you're not gonna get the steal. Like, it's crazy, especially on point guards like Claire, how she has that big long range dash steal. She's gonna be getting them. One swipe is a 50% of you getting the steal or not. Like, just think about it. It's insane. Let me actually figure out the actual number so you guys can see that. And also, hopefully this helps you out. If you feel like your steals are insane and you don't need to be shooting, you already got cards stacked up. If you only use a couple characters, you already got them built out. Wadded them out. Go for no move speed. Get on them fast. Make them pass the ball insanely fast. If you feel like you don't want them to score, shot impediment. Right here, you can also rock this if you already have cards. But I like to rock basically the extra 3 because not all my point guards are maxed out. That would be insane. If they were, that would be a lot of money. Let's be honest. We all know if you wallet, it's basically pay to progress. Or it could also be pay to win in some cases if you only wallet one person and you just keep going, keep going, keep dropping money. If you got millions of dollars and you can drop it on the game, you're going to have some stacked out characters. If you're only building one character at a time, it's going to take a bit to build them up, but eventually they'll be stacked. Let me go around and see if there's any other builds. Like I said, you can have a hybrid build. You can have the steals now because the steals are implied to it. But usually I like to run the distance because, you know, sometimes you're crossing up. You ain't going to be on the line all the time. You're going to be a little back. 3-on-3 will let you know you're a little back too and be like, hey, you're out of range. You're going to miss a shot. Most of the time you miss. But that's why, like I said, I like to use the extra oomph, the extra 6%, the extra 7.5 mid-range, or 3 range just to get that extra advantage. And also, there is steal speed on Little Fox. You can even add that in as well. But I don't think it's necessary. Point guards are normally fast, the smallest characters are the fastest. So no movement speed could help, sometimes it doesn't. But now, let's go to the last category. SGs, like I said before, basically the same thing as my other build. Sometimes I run this. If you're good consistently staying on the line, you can get rid of the distance. Do drive speed. I've seen a lot of people use drive speed. Look, jump shot block. Yuna has jump shot block. If you want to get blocks with these characters, some of these characters have a really good jump shot block and it can jump really high. Ren's one of them. If you guys haven't seen already, Ren can definitely jump. If you want to go for a steal build, these characters can get steals as well. Don't get me wrong, they'll get the steals. We got Fred right here, the same thing, 16.8. Another 8.4 from the other character. You can still get 50% steal. Especially on these guys, if you get an instant steal, instantly shoot it. Why not? Why not stop it? Well, more of SGs, they're going to be shooting the threes, they're going to be shooting the twos. These guys are shooters. They're natural born shooters. They can shoot twos, they can shoot threes. Like I said before, if you want to go for a hybrid build, you can. Let me look at their stats to see if they're more in favor of threes or if they're more in favor of twos. So see, they're kind of more favored threes, so you want to be going for threes. Yeah, you're going to make a two if you're wide open, but sometimes you're not. See, this one's more in favor of twos. You just got to know the character. You got to know what you're going to use, because that also implies. You want to build your P-buffs around the characters you're going to be using. I use everyone, so I kind of build towards everyone. But if you're using only two characters, like the meta characters for SG, Oxqueen, MC sometimes, Walker, anyone quick jumper, just build towards them. It's not wrong building towards one or two characters if you only use one or two characters. There's nothing wrong with that. But with that being said, let's go back into it, show you guys some builds. Like I said, if you can stay on the line, a lot of people like to use drive speed as well. There's also fun builds with, you know, the dunk, but SGs kind of can be good with dunks, but they're probably not going to be getting them off. But people run like stuff like this. A lot of people like the drive speed because, you know, it helps them get open a lot, especially with Oxqueen. Right here, you can use that if you want shot impediment. Oxqueen has it as well. But a lot of people rock this build. Like I said, if you can stay in the lines, a lot of characters already have the distance on them. So you probably don't even need to even be using this if you really want. If you're using Yuna, I know she has that distance on her. I know Oxqueen has that distance on her as well. You don't even need to be doing it. You can just be rocking it like this. Well, you can just get rid of that, put it on the normal movement speed. I used to rock all normal movement speeds and the shot distance, but see, this is only a 9, so it really doesn't matter. So do the increase, because like I said, you're going to be cooking up people. Sometimes you're going to be a little behind the line. And 3-on-3 will jeopardize you for that. They'll make the shot miss. So that's why I always have the distance, because even if you cook up, you're not going to be positioned right. Sometimes you're going to be in front of the line. Sometimes you're going to be behind the line. So why not have the distance back? So if you cook them up, you have all that extra space you can work with. This opens up a whole more of a field you can work with. And when I say with that, this is how to test it out with how much of the field you have to work with. Even with shot success. You'll see it in the shot success as well. I clicked the wrong thing. All you do is go into here, the free little roam. I have the sound off just because I'm recording the video because I don't like the background. You see the bars underneath my name? They'll show you where the character progresses at. So right here, look, with the shot distance, I can go all the way back here. I can work with all this. Look at this. Look at all the space I have to work with now. That's a huge chunk. So if I'm crossing up and I make a mistake and I'm all the way back here, I can still shoot it and make it. That's the best part about it. And of course, I picked the character with most noise, but that's why I have that extra distance. It opens up more of the court, more of the field. Like, look at this. If I didn't, I would have to be on the line trying to cook up like this. It makes it a lot harder. It makes the game a lot more difficult. And depending on the character skill, you seen that? That might have been a 2 because I was in front of the line. With all this extra space, I can do it up here, and it'll count as a 3. It'll actually help you. So let me go back. The meta thing for basically these characters, I would say is mostly 3s. You don't want to go for 2s with shooting guards because they're more built towards 3s. Unless you're using the ones built towards 2, like Nadia. Nadia was one of them. There's other characters as well. Let me go back into it. Yep, Nadia. See, Nadia's basically the only one, but you know, Kim can shoot 2s, Oxqueen can shoot 2s. If you want to shoot 2s, make a little 2 build. Put some jump shot block, put some shot defense resist, put anything you want. Also, with the size, like let's say if you shoot a shot in front of a center, it's obviously going to have more shot impediment because it's a center. They're taller people. But if you're shooting on point guards, it's going to have a least thing. That's why a lot of people are making shots on your face. let me pause on that. But if that's the case, you're probably playing a point guard. You're probably playing an SG, small characters. They're going to shoot in your face. And if they're making it, if they got high shot success rate, they're going to abuse it. Trust me, they're going to abuse it and keep shooting all the shots on your face. No diddy. But let me switch over some builds. I know I showed a couple of them with all the speed, all that. If you want jump shot block, there it is. If you want to make sure your 3s go in, right here. 3-point shot block and resist. If you want to go for fun builds, you know, you get the dunk chances. I do go for fun builds as well. You know, I like to have fun in this game, even though how toxic it is and all that. It can still be a pain. If you want to go for that, you can go with that. If you want to go for drive speed, you can give it a no movement speed. If your character's already built and shooting 3s, you don't even need this. Just switch it out, go for another normal movement speed. You can rock this. If you want to rock all the speed in that, this is what I used to rock. Well, not drive speed. I used to rock just the 3 because, like I said, I use more than one character. I like to, you know, have options. This is what I used to run, but as soon as the distance came out, it opens up the court. It gives you more space, more things to cook. So I always tend to try to have these on, the extra distances, especially with point guards. Let me show you with point guards. I know I already have the thing on. Let me go to a point guard. This one I don't really have much good cards on, so we'll go to Chloe. I know I have good cards with her. Look at this. Chloe can basically shoot a half court shot. Look at all the space. I can go all the way out here, try to get the cross up, and look at this. Her double cross puts her right on the 3 line. Like, why not work with all this? If your defender's like, he ain't gonna make it, he's way too far, and he's staying in the arch, look at this. I can get right here. And if he wants to stay in the arch, I just shoot it. And like I said, 3-on-3 will tell you because Chloe, she jumps back with her shot. That wasn't really a good example. But let me go back to this camera. Let me move up because now I know that. If they want to stay on the arch, you shoot it. She's making it. And like I said, I have no volume because I turned it off for this video. Just because of a lot of background noise. I like to just make sure I have it in check. But right there. I'm pretty sure that's all the builds, all the GIFs. Basically, all the builds I showed you for centers can work for point guards and all the other roles because they're basically all the same. They all have the same stuff. Basically for every one of my builds, I'm pretty sure I have 6-point shot success rate on all of them because they all have it. Most of the time, some of them will be different, but as you can see, they all have the 6-point shot success rate. And for some builds, they only have the distance, which is point guards and SGs, but I feel like in the future, when 3-on-3s make characters, they're going to be dropping them for the bigs, and we're going to have big shooting half courts basically and stuff like that. But we'll see if they really want to jeopardize the game, if they really want to jeopardize the roles and stuff like that for money. But who knows? This could go either way. You know, they added blind defense, they added a bunch of stuff, they're changing the meta all the time. They're adding in other characters that basically have all the meta skills on them, so make other characters useless, which is kind of crazy. But that's why they're having P6, P7, so the bad characters can catch up to the new characters, you know, give that extra oomph. But other than that, I'm pretty sure we're kind of already done here. If you guys have a different builds in mind, if you guys want to tell me your builds for your P-Buffs, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to look at them. I'll be happy to answer any one of your guys' questions. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments below as well. I'll check it out. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a lot longer than normal, but I feel like I had enough time with this long video to discuss the full meaning of PBuffs. Let everyone know about them. If I forgot something, leave it in the comments below. If you guys want extra help from the comments below, go down there and check them out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And you already know what it is. We'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, everyone. Have a good day and night, and peace out.